entire game,
That's
so it's
true.
not a problem.
What's going on in Twitch chat? Thompson, potential new mid player for Harry's team. Casters confirm or deny, please. Good news for Rodovatos fans. Thanks for breaking the story.
Yeah,
I
I just think if you looked at the previous game, I agree with what Harry said. I mean, yeah, the Wraith King pick was important, but this was a game where there wasn't a lot of coordination. There was a lot of aggression. It went a lot down to individual player skill, and Bravado Emotion completely slammed Flint in the end. So if Flint allow the game to devolve into the same kind of thing, they're gonna lose again. They're gonna get slammed again. So that's why I say that Flint might want to go for a very specific, maybe not cheese, but a very specific draft with some kind of like underlying strategy which will like require them to coordinate because as I said, if the game becomes head smashing, they're not going to win.
hmm
Well,
hmm
they've got the perfect opening for that. Panda first pick. I mean, there's never a better way for them to go with a cohesive draft than that. And yep, there it is. Perfect.
So what do you do against that?
Well,
Uh,
you
you
split push.
lose.
I mean, you can't fight against it, that's for sure, at least not until much later in the game. Or you have to really be able to lock it down with something like a Doom or Mirana, but those are both out. Maybe Batrider also gone. So, yeah, I think you split push. I mean, it's the perfect first pick for Flint here.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say now because Bravado Emotion have to win, but Brewmaster has to win, and that's I mean, what happens now?
I
Well,
think
you
they're
know
going
what
to be
else?
thinking hard, long and hard about this right now because they surely would have realized, oh yeah, the Brewmaster's been left up because Fulham's not going to. If they got the first pick, they're not going to ban him out. Treant number one. Um, yeah, let's get the Treant Lich combo going. Now, I don't know. I don't know what's going to see. Treant, of course, being a very popular pick in this tournament, as it is in pretty much all current tournaments. What's
Maybe they'll go for the Tree Abaddon super tanky hard to kill strategy again. Which
yeah.
if the enemy team is tilting a bit, that could be really really annoying. By the way, because it's a team that's like trying to make a comeback, really wants to get things done, and if you're playing all these heroes that just make it impossible for them to get things done, it's a problem. But yeah, they go for the Lich, as you said, the classic Tree Lich combo, double armor, incredible lane presence, really, with the sacrifice from the Lich and the armor from the tree.
Abaddon on top of this, would that work?
I don't see that happening. These are their two supports, definitely.
A
Yeah.
carry Abaddon.
Uh,
Has that ever
that's
been played in a pro
yeah.
game? Pardon?
It has happened a few times. It's very rarely been successful.
Oh dear, no. You're right. We're probably not going to get that. But now FL.int, they've managed to. They're probably over the moon that they managed to get to pick Brewmaster. But it's whether or not they can establish a coherent lineup, and hopefully, as you guys are saying, we should be able to see them playing in their normal roles.
Well,
You know, another thing that was important in that previous game, like we spoke about the psychological thing with Bravado Emotion facing Topson, especially for CM. CM was 1v1, Pack vs Invoker, basically no help at all from his teammates, and the farm was pretty close.
Yeah,
And now they've won against Flint. They've slammed him pretty hard, and any concerns about them being afraid of him completely gone now, I would say.
that might be dangerous. If
Oh, so
they,
you say if Topson does suddenly like work magic again?
I think he could. He could. It's crunch time. If Forlove lose this game, they're completely out of the tournament just before the final hurdle to get money in the Bravado Brawl. It is only top two that are going to get a payout after all. But Venomancer as a second pick for Flint. What's your thoughts, chaps?
well, I mean, specifically a counter to the Treant, just because it's a very easy way to remove the living armor. It significantly mitigates the effectiveness, but thanks to the dot. Although obviously we'll need 2 points in both his first and second skill for that to happen. But yeah, I mean, not saying that you should get that right away. Although I think typically Venomancer builds these days are actually 2 points in the Gale, and then usually skipping the ultimate to level 8 with the wards being maxed by level 7. But also, obviously, Venomancer is good for, I mean, essentially 5-man pushing, which is kind of what you want to do on the back of the Panda. It also allows you to, like, a lot of problems with five-man pushing is that you can get split pushed, obviously. Now, Panda typically doesn't get split pushed very easily because he just pushes so hard, as Scant would put it. But the Venomancer is very good at preventing split push because you can essentially just send back a single support and make it very difficult for the opposing team to take a side lane tower.
Ooh.
Oh, and we're gonna see a Steam Invoker, and it's actually one of Steam's strongest heroes. Steam thinks that this hero is actually too strong. I haven't spoken to him about it in like the
It's
last
even
week or two,
stronger when you pick Rodovatos.
but I don't think we'll be seeing a lot of Ageless on Steam's Invoker. And you know, the most telling thing from these picks so far, it's not about Steam's Invoker, but those last two bans. Look at that, Steam banning out the Pugna and the Death Prophet, and I think he's sensing with the Brewmaster and the Venomancer, like I was suggesting that. Yeah, look at that. Beastmaster. 4-love-ints are going for a cheese 5-man push strategy. That's what they're doing. And they'll have seen how well that worked, for example, when Infused used it twice in a row against my team. So that looks like they're going to commit to it. And maybe that means Seems Invoker is going to be playing Quas Wex this game because usually the Quas Wex Invoker is a bit better at counter push than the Exalt one, although they're both pretty useful.
Well, one thing real quick. Gotta check the level 1 Roshan. Like, I mean, you said a cheese strategy potentially, and anytime a team picks Beastmaster, you definitely gotta be worried about it, especially if there's like a Venge to come out as well. You know, I was actually thinking about this theory crafting a bit, and I think Beastmaster Venge, it's a combination that I think has the potential to come back. I mean, everyone's kind of playing like tanky stuff, and aura stacking is actually very good at dealing with tanky stuff, because like you just get tanky stuff too, and then like you eventually win because auras. So I don't know. I would actually like to see Avenge come out here, even though it doesn't specifically work well against any of the Bravado heroes. I still think Venge is just a fine hero. It was actually one that I thought would get picked a lot more after the change to the aura.
So it's actually a common strategy that Empire have used recently.
Ah, really?
Beastmaster Venge and then sort of vanilla heroes to hold the auras like Dragon Knights and um, they lost the most recent time they used it, which was at DreamHack, but I think it's an extremely potent strategy.
I'm
Dude,
hoping we do
thoughts?
see level 1 Rush. Because I'm
Yeah,
very
I mean,
curious to see the reaction from Bravado.
I'm hoping we see the level 1 rush because we can zoom out and see cool things.
I mean, I'm well practiced now on the camera movements, guys, so I'm just going to hire myself out as a cameraman, screwcasting. Timbersaw, offlane, I guess. Lich is going to be placed elsewhere. Unless you Timbersaw mid or something. No.
well, no,
Well,
they might dual lane the Timbersaw with the Lich, though, just depending on what For Love does. I mean, this is basically like ask these players their favorite heroes, and they shall receive. I mean, obviously, I don't know necessarily for Habibi and Ferrari, but Seam and Donnie, I would say these are probably their most signature heroes. Well, maybe Seam is his Puck, but
No, yeah, I think you're just about right with respect to Seaman Donnie, and yet there's the Shadow Shaman, and they really that's more all in than all in, super all in. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a fun game to watch, to be honest, because if it doesn't work out for Flint, we'll know pretty soon, I think.
Yeah. Was it get rid of the Nature's Prophet now? Is that something that could meld into this ridiculous push strat?
Well, it's a funny thing my team and I have been discussing a lot recently. What do you ban against push strategies? Because there's so many huge picks. They took out
Yeah.
the Lone Druid, but there's the Nature's Prophet still, there's the Dragon Knight, there's even the Jakiro, which Infused ran mid against us very, very effectively.
well,
Um,
there's Luna, which is pretty obvious with Beastmaster as well.
yeah, and as Harry said earlier, there's even the Vengeful Spirits if they wanted to run it as a core, or the Venomancer as a core.
Well, or they could even just put the Shadow Shaman mid and have the Beastmaster offlane and the Panda safe lane. If they pick Venge, I mean.
Yeah, so one thing that's going to be working for Lich pick, because Lich is quite famously weak against push strategies, the Chain Frost gets sort of watered down a lot when there's so many things coming at you, and the sacrifice is kind of counterproductive. If they're trying to push your lane and you're sacrificing creeps, you're helping them.
Unless you get, what if a Lich gets an Aghanim? So we're going to see like an infinite bounce or something?
I mean, I think that's trash. Lich Aghanims, I don't think I've ever seen a Lich ulti bounce 10 times. Never mind, more than 10 times. I mean, even if there's a lot of units, by the time it's gotten to 10, people are splitting up a bit.
Does it bounce off the Serpent Wards from Shadow Shaman?
No,
It does,
no,
okay.
they're magic immune.
I was going to say. And this is
But
going to be the last pick for Bravado Emotion. Seconds are running out, and it's going to be the Wraith King again. Uh-oh. Wait, is this? Did you say Donnie likes to play the Timbersaw? Oh no, Flares was
Yeah.
on the Wraith King before, so yeah, that makes sense.
So the issue I'm seeing so far, yeah, oh wow, and they go back for the anti-mage, so maybe a bit of a juke there, you know, it's signaling the all-in push the whole time, but taking the backup anti-mage, which is a perfect counter to the Wraith King in the late game.
Yeah.
And
Also,
now it looks like Flint actually have a pretty strong late game matchup here too.
I mean, Anti-Mage is counter to Wraithing. It's also counter to Timbersaw. I mean, you kind of counter each other to some extent, obviously, because Timbersaw does do pure damage, which is pretty effective against Anti-Mage, but the mana burn is huge against a Timbersaw, and Timbersaw has a huge mana pool and spends a lot of it very quickly, so it's very easy to just explode a Timbersaw with an Anti-Mage ultimate. So yeah, it's definitely... I actually like this decision from Forlove, even though I typically don't like
That
hedging.
sounded painful for you to say.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just thinking about it a little bit. Like, typically I like cohesive strategies more than hedging, but here I think that it was a good call. Like, even though Bravado Motion had some questionable effectiveness at defending pushes, I think that Timbersaw plus the Quaswax Invoker would be enough, and they just didn't want to have to fight into that Wraith King anymore, which they kind of lost the last game doing. So instead, going the complete opposite route. I mean, Bravado Emo have absolutely nothing that deals with split push. I mean, essentially, maybe it travels Timbersaw, is that about it? But I don't know, he'll have trouble with the anti-mage. So, yeah, like, if the anti-mage gets big, which could certainly happen, that could solve problems for Bravado Emo. Although, they do have Lich, and Lich is obviously excellent against hard carries in the early game.
I'm
Not
gonna
good
go ahead
enough.
and introduce the teams very quickly. It is, by the way, a map. We don't have the map score on this. It is a map in favor of Bravado Emotion, but
Oh, yeah, forgot that completely.
that's all right, man. I won't have your head this time.
Thanks.
Flint is going to be Nepali Jesus. He's going to be playing Veno Seso on the Shadow Shaman, Thompson on the Brewer, Arya on the Beastmaster, and Thompson on the Antimage. That seems like a more normal team composition for them. Seam on the Invoker. We've got Donny on the Timbersaw. Fles is going to be on the Wraith King. Habibi on the Lich, and Ferrari is going to be on the Treant. And I think we just got a restart from Ferrari. And we should be able to get game 2 under and away.
So, well, what I want to point out, maybe even more than what Harry was going to say, is that you might say that Bravado have enough counter push, but I don't know if, I mean, Venomancer wards and Rasta wards, there's no AoE spells that clear those things. So we could see Flint getting a lot of towers just on the basis of summoning all those wards, and you know, Timbersaw's got his AoE, so does Invoker, so does Lich, but doesn't do anything to wards.
Yeah, that's I guess very true. Although the Venomancer wards obviously like I mean they have to get set up. Invoker has very long range, so he could probably deal with them to some extent if you're using them for pushing. And Bravado Emo is already there, but obviously the roster wards are definitely a problem. So yeah, I mean I guess it's a fair point, but I don't know. I mean I like their decision also just because I typically hate to be the like, I mean, you've played against me and seen me play enough times as a team to know that I'm very typically opposed to going for all-in strategies. I hate having the pressure of a clock playing against me, so I can understand their decision.
Yeah, and while I say that the Rasta and Venomancer's wards could push without AoE stopping them, they are both supports. They're going to be going into this safe lane, and it is the original support players playing them as well. But one thing that people who don't know much about Bravado Emotion won't realize, and they're actually scouting out the rush, I think, intelligently so, but there's no one rushing. Donnie is an extremely good Timbersaw. Harry said it's his signature hero, but he's really good at punishing enemy supports that are a bit negligent. And Rasta and Venomancer are two supports that have extremely low base move speed at 285. So I want to just pay close attention to this Donnie offlane where if those players make any mistakes, Donnie's going to punish them. And if he makes kills in that lane, which is obviously not expected at all, that's going to be massive for Bravado Emotion.
Although I would say that, I mean, typically of supports who attempt to zone a Timbersaw, Veno is actually probably one of the best, if not the best, just because, I mean, the Timbersaw can't, I mean, yeah, obviously he can get away from the Veno, like the Veno has very low kill potential on the Timbersaw, but he's very good at zoning him because if you just scale him, then he just can't keep up with you. Or, I mean, obviously the problem with that is that you do have a limited amount of mana.
firstly there's that sacrifice, and secondly there's that ranged hero presence. Once he has the Nova up, it's that much easier to punish those support heroes in the enemy team, as I was just describing before.
Well, and the
Triant with
anti-mage.
haste. Is he just gonna... No, I don't think he has enough of his haste left to justify doing that, but the damage at the beginning is just hilariously powerful for Triant. And, ooh, we got Donny with a bit of pressure up at the top. But he's gonna be living armored up. And he's looking...
Yeah, the anti-mage quickly skilled up Mana Burn at level 1, actually, to try to put some pressure on Donnie. And Lich, gonna get Galed here. Gale doesn't actually do any damage, but yeah, he's gonna die. His Rasta's coming as well. He's gonna try to deny himself.
No,
He knows
no
he's
feed.
dead. He bought a TP scroll. The second he got killed, he bought a TP scroll. Oh, well done.
I can't
Only have
believe it.
BB.
It was all planned. It was all planned. Oh my god. So, does explain exactly what happens when you get killed by neutral. Obviously, there's no gold going out. Is there no experience either?
No gold, no experience.
Wow, wrecked.
Oh.
Nothing,
Yeah.
but the Lich can lose some gold
Yeah.
if he has some unreliable gold.
But yeah, he bought before, so he was perfectly fine. What I wanted to say though is, so the anti-mage going for what I would typically consider to not be an excellent choice for anti-mage builds, going for the Quelling Blade at level 1. Typically on anti-mage, we're going to get Quelling Blade after we have Battle Fury, not before. Unless we have, like, maybe in a situation where you're against a Darkseer or something, I still don't think you would do it then. I think you need to regen, but here, he could definitely get punished for this, because of this, he's short on regen, he's against the Lich, who's high on harassment, and obviously the Timbersaw, who, like, as you can see, can do a ton of damage to the anti-mage, so he's going to lean very heavily on the regen from the supports, and unfortunately, they actually are packing quite a lot.
Thompson's getting...
What kind of invoker do you think we're gonna see this?
Oh,
Sorry, I was just...
based on his starting items, I'm sure that it's going to be Plasmax.
Okay, because he started with just Quaz, which sort of leaves it open, although usually if you're doing Exort, you'll start with Exort.
Oh, top.
It's just they're just
Gale
going to have
saved
a bit of a
life.
standoff there. There's not going to be any commitment from either of the players. Getting XP.
In this
but-
tree, stalking bottom.
Oh. Another Invis has got Life Seed as well to slow him down. Is there going to be a push forward as well from Flares? He's not putting himself out of position yet, so Arya's going to find it difficult to read, but there it is. There's a slow. And they can go and hit him a bit, and finally the stun is going to come up very late. Need to get in front of him. This is a nice play, and it is going to be Bravado. Flares once again picks up first blood with the Wraith King. Now, that happened last game, right? He got...
Yep.
It's deja vu.
Although, this game I don't think we'll be seeing him turn that into a Midas. Going Midas on Wraith King against an anti-mage would probably not be an excellent idea. What do you think, Seam? Or Scant, sorry.
Seam. Well,
Yeah, I was looking at Seam when I said that, so...
Seam would probably agree with me that Midas would not be appropriate on anti-mage this game.
Oh no, it was on Wraith King.
On Wraith King? Were you talking about Wraith King? Sorry,
Yeah, I'm saying
I was just
Wraith-
greeting Knoxville, who's just brought me some food, so I got a bit distracted. Wraith King, I agree as well, probably shouldn't be going Midas this game, but at the same time, looking at his gold, looking at how much he's saving, I think he is going Midas.
Yeah. It does look that way. Hang on, I haven't got the farm up. Let's have a look at the last hit. Well, Wraith King and AM are completely tied up on it. But Wraith King, of course, has got
Well, look,
that
the only
bonus gold from First Blood.
The only way he's going to keep up with Anti-Mage's farm is with Midas, that's for sure. But I guess the point Harry would be implying here is that that's sort of a futile way to try and win this game, to outfarm Anti-Mage with Wraith King.
Right. You're just playing the anti-mage's game, and we all know that the anti-mage is king of that game, maybe
always
short
wins
of,
that
like,
game.
Naga. Yeah. So, yeah, I think you definitely have to try to attack it from a different angle, and that angle is early aggression. Try to slow down the anti-mage as much as possible, and put pressure on other places, forcing the supports to rotate, and giving the anti-mage less space before he has the Battle Fury. Whereas, like this is basically just playing into what the anti-mage wants. Like, there's less pressure being put around the map by the Wraith King, who's very good at applying pressure early on, so the supports can stay with the anti-mage for much longer, and that allows them to secure him much more farm and get him much closer to his Battle Fury before they have to do something else.
At top lane, they're trying to... No, they were hoping for some kind of shackle to take out the Timbersaw, but the Rasta doesn't have any boots, and really as simple as that. A Rasta without boots, who's already a slow hero, is never going to get much done then. Donnie is actually getting more harassed off on the anti-mage and the Venomance than they're getting off on him. So top lane, anti-mage is getting his farm, but they're definitely not zoning the Timbersaw or the Lich at all here.
No, no way.
I would say that the heroes getting the worst of this lane would be the Venomance and the Rasta, getting pretty much nothing at all.
The Rasta literally doesn't have an item. Oh, there we go. Wards. Yes. But that means no boots for a while. So, okay, I'll do my support role again. Oh, we've got a bit of movement happening in mid. Seam. Just pressuring him. Say goodbye to your mana. And Seam wants to secure...
And Seam's doing pretty well in this mid lane, just like last game, right? Very close farm in the mid lane. Doesn't seem like he's affected by Thompson at all. And I think he's cleared his mind, and he's pretty confident here as Thompson goes over to him and stumps. But it's not really going to do that much with Thompson not having any more mana left and Seam regenerating really quickly with the quest points.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty.
He's a bit behind on he's a bit behind on farm, but he's doing all right, and this DD should even things up in the last hit shot.
Yeah, it's very difficult as an Invoker early on. I think we had this come up in a different game as Invoker, especially Crosswalks Invoker early on against a Panda. Panda, pretty easy here to last hit with and can pressure you quite a bit. Invoker a little bit slow until he gets his phase boots on and not with excellent damage, so it's definitely not an amazing matchup for the Invoker until he gets a few low. Yeah, I would say Seam's playing reasonably well to be more or less. I mean, not even. He's a little bit behind in both CS and denies, but not significantly behind.
So, Harry, do you think when do we get to the point where we say that Flint's pushing plan is just over and it's all anti-mage? Because I actually think we're quite close to that point. As they're going on the Lich actually in the top lane, and they're going to get the Gale off on him, the Shackle off on him, but anti-mage is going to blink out and TP in from Seam, and it's actually the Rasta is going to go down, and he can never get away, and Venomance might be in trouble too with the Tornado whiffing slightly, so he'll probably just about make it out.
Nice
yeah,
rotation
well, I guess
from
the people in chat who are calling Seam not being very good are going to have a little more ammunition. That missed Tornado is a little bit brutal. That was a very, strange angle to throw it at. It's very possible to miss it, but I would expect him missing it up rather than missing it down. So, and the other problem with this rotation, speaking of rotations bottom.
Oh. Arya almost go down over there, but Thompson getting a bit of move on Flares, he's going to have his reincarnation. It almost feels counterproductive to continue chasing that, unless there's significantly more Flint heroes around.
Yeah, that actually kind of transitions perfectly into what I wanted to say. The downside of Seam's TV there, I think they may not have gotten that one kill. They probably wouldn't have actually if he hadn't been there on the Rasta. So it was significant, but at the same time, it was allowing the Panda to get closer to his Blink Dagger mid, and Panda's Blink Dagger is obviously a really significant item for Panda. So, that was big, but then at the same time, his TP bottom wasn't really a high percentage TP either. The Beastmaster might have died if he didn't TP, which I guess is kind of significant, but at the same time, Panda, when he TPs, he typically wants to clap and ultimate until he has, obviously, his Blink, at which point he wants to Blink, clap, and ultimate. But he can't ultimate against the Wraith King, so it just kind of left him in this awkward situation of okay, I'm here, but now what?
No, Harry, you say that the Brewmaster's Blink is going to be a big deal, but I can't help but think that this is going to be one of those games where there's very little he can do. He might be able to set up some gangs with the Beastmaster.
Hold on a sec, we've got a Donnie who's just going absolutely YOLO here. He's going to get one kill, is he going to try and back away? Oh, Habibi going to try and save him? Well, he actually didn't need to do anything, as Donnie can just run away from this point.
Yeah, and what
they're
did I say
winning
about Donnie
2v3
punishing
lane.
supports? Yeah, it's what he does with that hero. And, it goes back to the same point I was actually trying to make, which is that Brewmaster can have his Blink Dagger, but it's meant to be in conjunction with pushes, or forcing fights or something, and it's very unclear what Flint can actually do with the Brewmaster Blink Dagger, unless they sort of just dramatically outnumber Bravado in some kind of situation.
I guess the first thing they're going to do, though, is going to be to go for Seam in the mid. Now, fortunately, there is a ward that actually spots this out, because with the Venomancer having rotated towards mid, which is kind of what Venomancer should do once he gets level 5, and he can just drop down his wards and push until they take the tower, it would be a perfect position for Thompson to blink in and get a clap and ultimate off, and then force the tower on the back of that. Although he actually, he's going to have to bottle up at least once in order to actually have enough mana for all those things. But yeah, Seam rotated to a different lane and is going to look for a kill top on the Anti-Mage instead.
Oh, just coming in a little bit late. Long distance Tornado, but can't find him. So they're trying to get the coordinate. You could tell they were communicating with each other to try and coordinate that well, but I think Seam just ended up firing it off a little bit too late.
Well, I don't know if Flint's even gonna get this tower. They've got 4 heroes here, but there should be an EMP coming soon. Yeah, another TP, and 4 heroes to commit to a tower, not getting the tower. And Beastmaster, by the way, joined this push before he even got his level 6. And I don't know if was anyone watching early on, was the Ancient Spawn blocked or something?
It was, yeah. It was.
They blocked it both times.
Yeah, because this Beastmaster really needs to find that level 6 as soon as possible to stop being relevant. And Brewmaster getting stunned by the Wraith King, stomping him out, just kind of trading some blows. Don't think anyone's going to go down here.
Yeah, Wraith King could have continued forward there, throwing another stun. He might have actually been able to force out the ultimate from the Panda, but deciding against it. And Panda's going to TP top with his Blink, deciding this is where they're going to make a pick off. But Bravado are already backing up. I think they actually saw the TP in, maybe, underneath the tower with the creep vision.
It was right in front of the creeps. I'm not even sure. Like, that just seems like an extremely impulsive move. Keeping the tower there was never going to get anything you could get done.
Flares is starting to stand out quite a bit now in the farm charts. And that's what they've been doing while everyone's been rotating on the map and while Anti-Mage has been under pressure from Tindersaw and from Lich. And even from Seam as well, and the Invoker. He's just been sitting there whacking creeps in nicely, and actually Rasta is going to die. We've got Donnie over here. He's letting out the chakram, but to no real use, essentially. And there's Seam. Did he show himself already? Did he fire out a tornado?
No, but the Panda has seen him, and the Ward has seen him as well. Yeah. I just want to say that Donnie does always continue to impress me on this hero, and I know Scant is raving about it, and I really would say that I am too. Like, I just know from personal experience playing Timbersaw and playing the offlane, like in that situation after I'd gotten that kill, when the 2 heroes were like trying to attack me just a little bit away from the enemy tower, like all I would have been thinking about is, alright, how am I going to Timber Chain to get out of here? But like Donnie's like, no, I'm just going to turn around and fight both of these heroes by myself, and like that's just not a reaction that I would ever have. But Donnie's so practiced with this hero that it's just not a problem for him at all.
He understands
really impressive.
The limitations of the reactive armor and how far it's going to take him, but he's got balls as well. That's also another part.
And she's healing that mid tower up to full. There's 13 minutes and there's still no towers killed for Flint, and I think now we can quite safely say that the push strategy's over. This is now an anti-mage strategy for Flint.
That's well, it was plan A as well, but it's also the much needed plan B. And Habibi spotted him, but an immediate blink away from Thompson. Flares, he's built that.
The concern they're gonna have with the anti-mage strategy is actually that Seam is going for a really rushed Orchid. That's gonna help them a lot to make kills on anti-mage when he's just picked up his Battle Fury. And if they manage to kill him once or twice right after his Battle Fury, anti-mage is not gonna do anything this game.
How close is he to Battle Fury? What does the courier...
Actually only about halfway.
Yeah,
no,
long ways off actually.
He needs 400 gold for Perseverance and he's got it because he's got the Claymore sitting in base.
No, but he still... Oh, does he have
sitting in the courier, sorry.
He's got
Yeah,
the broadsword. Oh yeah, the Claymore's on the courier, yeah, okay, good call. Oh yeah, so he's much actually closer than I thought. He's almost done, in fact.
We've got a bit of a move here onto the We've got a rotation, but it's going to be a kill before anybody can even get there. Thompson's there, but now he doesn't really want to do anything. His blink was still on cooldown. And Donnie just saw him escaping, running down a cliff, getting away from any possible dangers. It might say 6-1, implying that Flint has a kill, but actually that's just the neutral camp killing Habibi earlier on. They still haven't gotten a single kill yet on Bravado.
Dire's top tower has been denied.
Yeah, Thompson manages to deny the tier 1, but it's really not the kind of value he's meant to be giving to this game. Oh, I deny the tower. Yeah, it's good, but as you say, the Battle Fury is coming up soon, and we're gonna have to see how the next 5 to 10 minutes go for him, because that'll dictate the rest of the game, I would say.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And they're pushing now. Flares is down bot. As you were saying, Harry?
Well, I was gonna say one thing that's very telling in this game is that the anti-mage is about to have his Battle Fury, but he's only level 8, and that I thought it was weird because I was like, man, he's got a lot of blink already for only being level 8. Like typically he would still maybe only have 1, potentially 2 points in blink at this point because you'd be a little bit further from your Battle Fury at level 8 than he is. But So, like, basically, he kind of has the farm, but he really doesn't have the levels, and that's actually just because these supports were with him for so long. And we can see the effect of that. The Rasta, 15 minutes into the game, still does not have his ultimate, and this is an extremely ultimate-dependent hero. Now, he's about to get it in mid, but this is one of the things which has actually cost Flint's push so much, is just
And
this
he doesn't
hero.
have boots. He doesn't even have boots.
And this is all just because, like, these two heroes had to constantly stand on the lane with the Anti-Mage to deal with the harassment from the Timbersaw and from the Lich. Whereas, like, normally they would be stacking and pulling more, the Anti-Mage would be higher level, and, you know...
And look at Donny stealing a stack from the Anti-Mage. Just actually with this stack steal, he's gonna overtake Anti-Mage in net worth, and we can like finally say very clearly that the Timbersaw Lich lane got much more in this game than the tri lane they faced.
And the blink is up on Flares.
I think Flares is going to want
They're
to
gonna
take
go for
that.
a kill.
He's got Midas up, but they're looking for it right now. Blink in. Is the damage quick enough? It absolutely is. And Thompson just erupts into nothingness. And
Not even needing that level 1 Sunstrike.
I think it was a bit late, to be honest, but maybe not. Actually, wait, who got the kill? It was, of course, Flares. And here's the push in. I think we're going to get TPs. Habibi's there with Seam. That tornado was timed to perfection. But here it is. Panda ult coming in. Say so. Gonna die. No extra gold for you. Sitting on less than 200. Nepali Jesus, he's still around. What's going on down the bottom with the Panda? I think it did actually kill Seam. And Habibi is going to be getting it as well. He just used the wand, and that's going to be the thunderclap for the frag. Oh, a nice blink away, actually. But there was another casualty. I think Veno took a hit. And did we see Beastmaster getting killed already? I think that maybe it was a later casualty.
Yeah, Beastmaster died at the very end there with the extended chase. So, first Panda ultimate of the game, 17 minutes in, and it ends up being a 2-for-3 trade. Now, admittedly, the most important hero killed was on Bravado Emo's side. Obviously, I would say the Invoker is significantly better to kill than the Beastmaster or either of the supports, but still, this is not the kind of trade that you're looking for when you use a Panda, which is kind of like, as Scant was saying in the draft, and I tend to agree with, a relatively broken hero.
Didn't even get the tower. I mean, this Brewmaster himself made 2 kills, but it's... You know, you want to be getting the tower, and one thing about splitting your draft with the 4 heroes to push and the anti-mage is that, well, anti-mage is not contributing to your push. Now you have supports that are under-leveled and under-farmed, well, they're not contributing to the push. Brewmaster's gone on a Bibi, but the tree armor, the lich armor, he's not going to be able to kill him.
There's got to be a little bit careful. We might see a defensive wall put up once again. Flares, he's just pushing down bottom. We've got like 2 people on the map who have been AFK farming. Anti-Mage and Wraith King, essentially. Although Wraith King is getting involved in some of the fights, I'd say a little more. So let's have a look how he's doing. He's 4-0-1, so yeah, he's doing pretty well, whereas Anti-Mage is 0-1.
Look at Seam, he's in Ghost Walk, he's got his Orchid now, he's going to try and make a solo kill on this Anti-Mage, and I think he might succeed, actually.
If he didn't Orchid agree.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
No.
If he...
Oh, Seam, this could go horribly. Alright, he's managed to get out of this. There's no vision, and Seam's just gonna... Okay.
And the anti-mage has actually cancelled his TP now, so he's stuck around here for a long time. I'm sure they'll know that. They're gonna just cut down all the trees and try and find him, but I guess they'll probably be wasting their time, because he can just blink around for a long time.
If they just put his chakram out a little further, I mean, he would have found him. Flares, he's got to watch out. He can fire off 1 stun, and then he's still got enough to reincarnate, but they've managed to get themselves a kill down and bottom. Thompson coming in. He wants to get involved right now. He's trying to get rid of his armor, but Flares is just hitting him too hard, and there's the reincarnate as well. Thompson just going to get out of there. During this time, we have got the Panda trying to chase down Habibi, and then he's going to have to blink out of that. Flares, he's going man mode at the moment. There's 1 kill. Can he get out of there? There's also going to be the Midas up in a second, so hashtag efficiency, please. Oh, we got it. Donny comes in and just managed to get the avenge kill onto the anti-mage. Oh, but actually, Thompson as well. He is making a big impact in this, starting to get his team a few points on the board. That actually seems going to get rid of that. There's still a couple of seconds until the blink was to refresh. Donny, first death of the game. No, a beautiful little chain across. Thompson, though, still chasing, but he just uses blink to get there. And it's all dandy. I'm loving the plays from Donny at the moment.
Exactly, a little bit of greed out of Thompson there, blinking in to finish off the Wraith King, and because Donny saw he had just used the blink, he was on low hit points, Donny could just dive in and make sure to punish him for it.
Flares, do you think Flares' aggression was justified? What do you make of that?
It's a bit similar to last game. This case, it's even. I mean, it's bloodlusty in that sense, but it's more justified this game than last game because they are dramatically far ahead. And Team's gonna try and get anti-mage again, and this time he hits the orchid. So, well, the MP is gonna miss this time. So actually, I don't think he's gonna be able to finish him off, even though he did hit the orchid.
There's a kill in mid as well. Ferrari, he's gonna fall, and there's no support quick enough. But there is Donny now having a look, and he is gonna be finding a Shadow Shaman. So, what am I done about the support? It's there. So 1-for-1 trade in mid. It's a little bit better for Flint, but meh.
Even where Seam is not killing anti-mage, the fact that he goes to gang him and zones him out every time is getting a lot done anyway, because the anti-mage is not farming during any of this time.
I think he's been at around that kind of money, maybe around the 5 to 6k mark. He's been there for like 5 minutes now. He hasn't actually gotten that much with the Battle Fury. Uh-oh. There's going to be the shout. Seam, how are you going to get out of there? Well, it's just going to Ghost Walk, and there's no detection. Nothing. I just would have thought Arya would have had something, but he doesn't.
I don't think they would have even killed him with detection. Maybe 2 more hits on an AM ulti. I don't think it's enough to kill him as he runs away.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah, he's gonna be pretty fast with that Ghost Walk for sure. And he's just coming back in. They really do need to get rid of this tier 1 tower in mid to give him a little more room to play around with.
Oh, and the Polyfuses comes in. Oh, that last hit is going to be Lich. I don't think Seam wanted to give the last hit to Habibi, but he's going to get it regardless. And now they can start finally pushing down this mid area a little bit. And really, the Bravado emotion guys, they're looking good. And when Flint managed to pick them down 2-1 in the winner bracket quarterfinals, they're currently at risk of losing 2-0 in the lower bracket finals, which is considerably more important at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, so 3 towers being killed by Bravado Emotions, 0 towers being killed by the push strats, and Blair's gonna blink in and stun Thompson. Wow, look at that push, he's on half HP straight away, and he has to TP out. That just tells the story of this game. Flints are being totally outfarmed, outpaced, outmaneuvered, outmapped. Just, okay, as Nox would say, they're getting slammed.
Yeah.
Is Noxville with you watching this?
He is actually watching and smiling, as I said.
Yeah, I bet he's enjoying this game a lot. Donny, you gotta watch out, you've been hexed up, but look how tanky he is. He's got his Bloodstone now as well with a fair amount of charges, and he is just gonna zip out of there. That Venom ulti is only gonna be hitting Seam. But look, they've lost 1 player, 2 players. That Panda died for crying out loud, and now Donny's, he's not happy as Larry. He's just gonna come in and be able to finish down the Veno. And Seiso just running away. Does not like being involved in such chaos. And all during that time, Flair's not taking part of it. I think he's using exactly the same build as the last game, and it's working out a treat. I'm trying to work out if he's actually doing better than last game or doing worse. I can't put my finger on it.
The thing is, it's largely irrelevant. It's like, this is like the Donny show. It's,
yeah.
You know, Flares, honestly, Flares and Seam this game could be like, highly intelligent bots or something. It wouldn't matter because Donny's doing all the work, the heavy lifting.
Oh wow, he's actually not.
Oh, that was close.
Yes,
Vision saving him. Oh, Thompson having to dodge everything, but he's gonna go down. What a play from Seam, soloing the anti-mage.
I guess I underestimated or overestimated the amount of damage Orchid would deal thanks to the level 4 spell shield, which typically an anti-mage doesn't actually have level 4 spell shield at this point in the game. But like I said, he got the Battle Fury early, so he's able to start taking skill points again early, and that did end up saving him there. Sorry, you were saying, Scant?
Not really much. I mean, I was just going to point out actually about Invoker that Team has been fumbling his spells a bit. Like, we've seen him a few times go for the anti-mage and, you know, Orc missed the MP, missed the last hit now, although he finally got the kill. So, in a way, it almost emphasizes... Yeah, ask a Donny question. 1 point.
He's got Bloodstone, but he's still got Arcane Boots. Scrub much, or is this just he wants that extra mana?
He just wants the mana. It's actually fairly common. Some Timbersaws like to disassemble and others just don't. And Donny, I know if he can afford to, he'll always keep the arcanes.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he had 3k gold, when he was sitting on Point Booster, Arcane Boots, and a Void Stone, so he was able to just go straight into the Bloodstone without needing to disassemble.
Got it. I think we're going to get a big fight in mid in just a second. They can see him. I don't know if Treant just showed his face, but they've struck intrigue in the Flint team, and Antimace just died again as well. I didn't even see that one happening. I was looking to see them running into each other on the Ledge of Destiny. Nepali Jesus comes in. That Poison Nova not going to be hitting a great deal. So trying to do his best to take down Ferrari, and a single landing of the Chain Frost. Habibi, I think, is going to go down over here, and Ferrari's still stuck in the middle of those wards. Alright, so we're seeing a couple of kills from the Flint side, but one core already died. And this is push
You know,
farther.
the scariest thing about that fight, Bravado Emotion won that fight without Donnie. And Donnie's like a one-man team this game, and they won a fight without him. He arrived really late, wasn't actually involved in the kills. But that tells you something about how far ahead they are right now.
Let's have a look at the gold. Gold is over 15k. XP is bordering 25k right now. They just pushed in. They managed to find Nepali Jesus once again. Donnie is 905. He is yet to die.
There's no other word for this than slammed.
I actually wanted... Sorry, go.
I agree. Slammed is currently, I think, the scientific term for this.
I actually wanted to say that I think this is, I mean, this has really been, like, this combat has really been on the shoulders of Donnie. Like, well, alright, gonna be a little bit of action here. Panda should probably be fine, though. I think there's just some pressure from players.
He's trying something. He's got Reincarnate, but barely. There's no Mana Steal, so Flares is just sitting there. Doesn't really seem concerned at all. And Thompson's gonna die. They're just kind of throwing at the moment. Oh, and that's actually pretty brutal from Thompson. Gets rid of the last remaining mana. Maybe Flares wouldn't have hung around so long. And a nice little courier snipe as well, but oh my god, that damage. Thompson might have gotten a kill,
Yeah,
but
that's
he
the
didn't
problem.
get much more.
You finally managed to bring down the Wraith King, but there's all these other heroes that are also much stronger than you, just to clean you up afterwards. Did anyone see what was on the courier when Anti-Mage killed it?
I did not see what was on it, no.
But yeah, so what I was going to say was that, like, I feel like Bravado Emo's comeback in this tournament has largely been on the back of Donnie. Like, I mean, the last game, maybe a bit more the Flares show with that relatively significant Wraith King, although I think that was more kind of, in general, Bravado as a whole. Although I think, to be honest, Seam played a little bit subpar. Like, I consider Seam to probably be the best player on this team, typically, or traditionally at least, but I don't know, I didn't feel like his puck did a whole lot that game, or well, it did some, but not as much as it could have. He made a fair number of miscues. Like, their two previous games that they won were both on the back of Donnie's Slark, actually, which was huge in both
Donnie's
games.
been amazing this tournament.
Yeah. And I think it's really noteworthy that it's Donnie too, because like Donnie, I would say, and Scant would obviously know this, well, there's going to be actions I'll talk about it later.
Oh, we've got a Chain Frost that's going to be bumping onto a load of creeps. Seam, he's all on his own. They just desperately want to take him down. He's going to get 4-stuffed out, so Seam does not die at all. There's a chase here, though, from the Panda. Is that... Well, I think they got vision, so Seam will probably go down. Oh, no, there's going to be a mech charge as well. There's still a chase, though, by Thompson. And I think they want to take him down, but Thompson's just going to try to get away after that kamikaze mission on Seam did not work.
Yeah, it wasn't actually the mech, it was
my
the Leech
kamikaze.
Seed. Nice Leech Seed by Ferrari, 458. But yeah, so basically, as I was saying, it's very telling that it is Donnie who I feel is like really stepping his game up to a whole other level, just because like Donnie traditionally would be the one to kind of dick around the most, like do the most nonsense, to kind of play the least seriously, and to not kind of bring his A game just because he thinks he's above it. So the fact that like I think the storyline we're painting at this point for Bravado Emo making this comeback through the losers bracket is that like they decided that they were done fighting at regular and now they're going Super Saiyan because this is like, you know, an actual important fight, and that's really, I think, been Donnie more so than anyone who stepped it up in that regard.
Yep, I completely agree, and there might be some rush contesting going on here. Doesn't look like it. Not
Nope.
Flares as the Aegis, and that's gonna be that.
Another
The thing
extra
about
life
Donnie,
for
I mean,
Flares.
oh wow, Flares blinks over and actually catches our Jesus, and speaking of extra lives, well, he's not gonna have one yet. The thing about Donny and this team, earlier on I said that I thought that Habibi is has the clearest mind, the most composed player in South Africa. Donny is the most skillful, definitely. Like, just in terms of like technical skill, he's definitely the most skillful South African player. And so when he's got a clear mind, when he's motivated, you're gonna see these kind of plays from him.
Is there any chance of return from this 25 to 30k goal difference, Harry? You're the one who's most blunt about this.
Nope, absolutely not. This game is over. I mean, you've got an anti-mage, so it's never really over, but they can't defend this. Like, they're going to jump in and use a Panda ultimate. It is a level 3 ultimate with an Aghanim, so it does do something. But other than that, they've got nothing. Like, the anti-mage can't join the fights yet. He doesn't have his Manta style. He's close to it, but doesn't have it. And
I can't believe he doesn't, though. He's had Battle Fury since 15.5 minutes into the game, and he's gotten 5k gold since then.
Well, a lot of pressure from Seam. One shot.
Flares, oh my god, we got the Panda coming out. This could be the last fight to determine it right now, because otherwise I feel like going back to the, oh my god, those chains destroyed them. Lynch definitely getting his time in the sun. And Flares is like, whatever, I'll just keep fighting you. I got Aegis, I got Reincarnate, I got a whole bunch of things right now that is going to screw you over. We got Thompson. He's wandering around, but I don't think he believes he can do that much. He might be looking for a low mana target, but they all have plenty of it. Are we going to get a dive? There's a stun, but the Manta actually coming in just at this point. Did not notice that pickup, and Flares is just going objective gaming right now. They want the win. They want to secure that grand final spot that will be taking place tomorrow evening. And that is going to be, well, one Panda down. And there it is, next life, there is going to be... When did that blink happen? Oh, Thompson gets away by the skin of his teeth. And I'm wondering what's happened to FL.int. Danny was telling me, we're going to wreck this tournament. Mate, you didn't even make it to the grand finals. What has happened? What has happened?
They got slammed by South Africa, which was foretold by the prophecy of Knoxville.
It was. Not many people took him seriously on day one. If anything, the UK guys were laughing at what happened. We've got the GGs called out right here. There is only one UK team left and one South African team left. It's going to be Infused versus Bravado Emotion tomorrow evening. Bro, that was a slamming right there. I usually like to say, oh, that was a really close game, so that people think that, you know, it makes it more compelling to some people, and well, that wasn't really close, to be honest.
No, they made it look easy. They totally outclassed them, and Infused better prepare themselves, because this Bravado team is looking pretty scary.
Donnie's
I think I can
amazing.
safely say, well, I didn't actually watch them very much when you played with them, but so I don't know. But I mean, of the times that I've actually watched Bravado Emo / Bravado Black play, I don't think I've ever seen them play at this level.
No, this is this is impressive. I don't think I've ever seen them play at this level. I can't say that for I
mean,
can
all right,
say
now,
that for sure.
I mean that individually, kind of, not as a team, because as we mentioned multiple times, they still really haven't had like teamwork synergy. It's more just like been people making individual plays.
The way I say it though, if you think about how well the other South African teams did in this tournament, Energy and Liberty, they got 2-0'd and then they got sent out by the two Bravado teams. They didn't really have